not gonna get all emotional and crying all here, like, so I just like to say thanks to everyone, especially the supporters. Met some lovely guys here over 8 years. Backroom staff, most of you guys obviously have took to me from the day I came here till the day I leave, so my time's up. My time's up. And good memories from this club. You know, it's probably the best club I've ever played for. It's definitely the best dressing room I've been around, because, tell you what, these guys are the best. They really are. And I'd like to thank mostly Stephen Baxter and Charlie Murphy for bringing me here in 2005. Basically all the coaches that I've worked with over the 8 years I've been here, it's been fantastic. Last year was obviously the pinnacle of my career, winning the Santander Cup. You know, and I'm hoping somebody that's stupid enough to take me on for another year somewhere, and maybe I'll have a decent season. But I'd like to take this opportunity to wish Crusaders all the best for the current future.
Just on behalf of all fans, thank you. We'll move on. Last but not least, they say you always keep the best to the last, so ladies and gentlemen, Gaffer Manager Mr. Stephen Baxter.
I'm going to try and do my speech in English, because Ronnie Miller, he generally does Russian. We're actually thinking of bringing a Russian interpreter in after last year's performance. Tonight, you know, tonight's a very nostalgic night. It's a night where you think back and you think of all the things that have gone before. And before I maybe say a few words about this season, we have a very special award to make. There's someone in our midst who eclipses us all in his service and what he has done at a football club over not 5, 10, 20, 30 years, but 40 years service to the one football club as player and as probably as manager and as coach. And of course that is Mr. Roy McDonald. Seats. I'll have to embarrass him now, you know. When I first got here as a player at the football club, in the days before we had a beautiful pitch and lights and dressing rooms on the far side, we had dressing rooms down below. And in those days, when after we trained in the dark, we went into the little dressing rooms below, and there was a small bath, which was probably I don't know 3 foot square, something like that. There, you had to see the size of this bath. But on a cold, wet, you know, December evening when you were absolutely freezing, and there was 12 players. Well, there probably only was 10 northern players in those days. The rest were down south, but the 10 was rushed in first. They all jump into the bath ahead of Roy McDonald. Because as you can pick, we all looked like Declan Cadell in those days. Suck those bellies in just a little bit, you know. But in those days we used to jump into the bath, pass the carbolic soap around all of us. Everybody shared the soap. And of course, Roy then came in and got stripped. Let me tell you. And he walked in and he put 1 foot over the top and he says, "I'm in, 6 of you out." And that really was 6 of us out. And you just got crushed in the tidal wave as the water came right up over the top of the bath. But if you think that was bad, in those days, Roy had to do the refereeing. Roy Walker, manager, we used to train, and Roy used to play in the five-a-side. So we trained up at Lockside. So not in the dark when we were at Seaview, we trained at the side of the pitch. You know, you players don't know you're living. We trained when the lights were on and all the Grove Uniteds were training on the pitch. We were training in their light at the side of the pitch because we didn't have any pitch. Back in the day. Anyway, back to the story. Roy McDonald refereed all games and Roy's word was final. As you can imagine. And as games went on, we had a player in those days called Kevin McCune, goalkeeper, you remember. Kevin thought of himself as a centre forward, not a goalkeeper, and joined in the matches with great vigour. And as one of the goals that Kevin thought he scored when he smashed it into the net, but it was past the post, he came racing round. Roy McDonald blew his whistle and said, "Offside." Kevin McCune came sprinting round the whole distance to the halfway line to get right up into Roy's face and said, "It was never offside, don't you talk so shit." And Roy says, "Shut up." Bang! 6 stitches in the side of the face. And that was not a joke. That was Roy's refereeing. Nobody messed with Roy, let me tell you. But if I could say a couple of things, you know, we talk about things in the game, and we talk about loyalty, dedication, professionalism, desire, hunger, determination, will to win. Those are all attributes associated with Roy. That's the things that he brings to a football club over 40 years of loyal service, of dedication, his professionalism to the club, never misses training, here every week for before the players and generally locking up afterwards. Brings the biscuits every week, keeps us well fed and chocolate and sweets. But every single week here, making sure it happens. But those are the things in a footballing front. For me, it's probably more than that. It's because it's about character, it's about friendship, and it's about being the best goalkeeping coach in Ireland. 40 years service to a football club deserves special recognition. In September, after you receive the award tonight, Roy, for the 40 years service, the upstairs lounge here will be named after you. I would ask you maybe just to remain on your feet and stay up standing. I'm going to ask Shelley and Dawn to come and present the prize.
Probably all the things that Stephen has said are true, you know. He forgot to say one night about Barry Hunter and somebody else messed me about in the bath. And I put their two heads under the water for 3 minutes and held them there. But anyway, it's a great privilege. It's my honour as well as what you've said to Stephen, to be here for 40 odd years. And I thank Crusaders for allowing me to play here and to stay here for all that length of time. So thank you very much indeed. I think I've gone through 4 chairmen and 10 managers in that length of time. 40. But it's been a long career, and it's been a very distinguished career for me. And you know, there's a lot of happy memories here for me. There's a supporters club named after one of my brothers, the Roy McDonald supporters club. The upstairs lounge named after me. You know, it's a great privilege for the family. My father served here. Dennis, I believe you're getting your teeth out and getting seats in. My father served here before Leslie as well as a kit man, not for years. And you know, it makes you feel old when you've got somebody who you introduced into the game as a young 15 or 16-year-old, and he's now the assistant manager. So, you know, Jeff Spears. It's been wonderful. There's been some great highlights here. You know, I'm not going into it because you're sick of hearing it. You like to hear me saying it all the time, Sean. You know, and reminiscing. And that's how you know you're getting old, because you do reminisce. You'd be like that someday. But thank you very, very much for everybody who has turned up tonight, and thank you for everyone.
We'll just get this finished and let you guys get on with your singing and dancing, whatever else is coming after this. We're going to start a Coronation Street episode to see if we can get Gareth McKeown back again. I want to just say simply, the season that has just finished today, it's remarkable to think that second week of May, 11th of May last year, we were finishing off the season to go into a 4-week break before we come back in the middle of June to prepare for a game on the 4th of July against Rosenborg. And now we find ourselves with this season coming to a close, and it just seems to have come past like the blink of an eye how quickly the season has moved forward. And summing the season up, I said a lot in my programme notes last week, if anybody read them. But I made reference to saying it was a season that was so near, but yet so far. Because probably in winning 2 trophies last year and our league performances, I personally feel that this group of players this year have been much better than they were last year. Because the consistency of 83 points, is it 83 points in the league this year is quite incredible. I think someone else that probably maybe went a little bit unnoticed was I think we set a bit of a record. We didn't lose out on that pitch all year in the league, and we set a bit of a record. That in itself is a remarkable achievement. think something that you probably maybe again aren't aware of. The team having gone with the 4-week break, coming back into pre-season, getting ready for European football. The team competed in all the cup competitions through to the finals, the semi-finals of all the cup competitions. I think we were playing, midweek right through the year, competing in the league right up to the death. And when you consider that we work off a squad number of about 20 players, the effort that these guys put in, honestly, it is absolutely incredible what the work rate is putting into it. The really bad news for the guys is that whilst they get 6 weeks off this year, we're going to ask them to come in 3 nights a week training next year, because we feel as a football club we have to raise our standards, because the Linfields, the Glentorns of this world are now chasing ourselves and Cliftonville, and in order for us to maintain the challenge, maintain the standards, the lads are all up for another big challenge, and that is to get in and work even harder to try and achieve their goals, because these guys deserve to be to win a league medal. They deserve it because they work so hard, and we hope that next year they'll come back bigger, better and stronger to do it. I wanted to say to you that the football club, we talked a lot tonight about, we've looked back and we've looked at things that we've done in the past, and Roy and David and all the other guys that we've talked about tonight. But I think when you look at this football club right now, the firm foundations that have been laid, and those foundations have been laid over a long period of time. To look at the ground, what you now have, the facilities at this football club are the envy, and I mean that, the envy of virtually every other Irish League club around this country. They now hold Crusaders up as a model about how football should move forward, both on and off the pitch. It's a credit. And whilst the football side of things and the players will come in and do their thing, the work that goes on behind the scenes with the management committee and people like Norman Coleman. I don't know where Norman is. He here tonight? Norman, you want to think about ditching that jacket? I'm only joking, Norman. It looks pretty good. 25 years ago. But it's deadly serious. The work that Norman Coleman does for our football club, and I would say, I don't know how many hours, Norman, you put into this here, but what you've done for every one of us to stand back and witness and recognise, you deserve all the credit you get. By bringing Liverpool here last year and you're trying to set another tournament up this year. We're privileged to have someone like you on board in our football club behind the scenes. I think something again that probably goes unnoticed, and this man will probably slap me about the head about 55 times after it's all over, but you don't build a successful team unless you go out and get the right people to come in and add on those foundations. And over the last 8 years, we've been building player after player after player, and now bringing the best players that are available to us, and we're taking them off various clubs around the place where we have to compete to try and bring them here. In the last 8 years, I've been very honoured and privileged to work with John Mears, who behind the scenes has helped me to develop all of that, to go into the market, to find the right players, to add them to the squad. John, you're a gentleman. I salute you for everything you do. also want to pay a little bit of a tribute to Johan Lacroix. When our star goalkeeper, Sean Neal, fell down at Windsor Park, and the shoulder popped, and it didn't look good, and off he went. The season for me flashed past us because I was thinking to myself, we're in big trouble here. The best goalkeeper in Northern Ireland by some distance. Sean Neal. Knowing that a shoulder injury of what Sean sustained was going to be a while, it said about having watched Beaver over the first 45 minutes of that performance, we said we better get another goalkeeper in. But I have to say to you that for a full week, we trawled the markets across England, across Ireland, across Scotland. The amount of phone calls that was made in a week was just simply incredible, through agents and various other things. But then a phone call came through with an email coming to me saying there's a French lad who's looking for a club, and we made contact through his agent. His agent rang me back and said he would be happy to fly over and see you. And Johan jumped on a plane. We hadn't met him before. He flew into this country. He met myself and Jeff, and we got him down into training. And for a lad of 27 years old to up sticks from France and to come and join a wee club in North Belfast. Not only did he come and do that, but he has fitted into everything we do. He has joined in. He's learned a little bit of Northern Irish when he's been here, like, "Oi, right, mate," dead on. And Johan, you've been an absolute gentleman around our football club. We thank you for coming here and getting working. Sorry for keeping you all so long, but I'm nearly done, I promise. A couple of things that I'd like just to quickly say, and that is David Gibson, Stephen McBride and David Rainey move on from the football club this year. It's the hardest thing ever, being a football club manager, because you grow into something with people. You grow in. It's like your family. It becomes like your right arm. I worry about them every night of the week. And worry about if they're in their beds. With Gibbo, I worry that he's in discos and Portrush rather than being in his bed. I'm not going down that road now. Careful. But I have to say something, that the service that these guys have given to us, as we mentioned, the players of old and the McKeowns of this world and the Glendon Lops and all of the different people that go before. People come and do incredible things for a football club, and we're all here for a season. And we're all, like life, we're all here for a season. And these guys have given unswerving loyalty and support to a football club, and driven us. As I spoke with David today before the match and before the game started, in front of all his friends, and I said to him, he single-handedly shot this club from the first division back into the Premier League, because we were on our knees back then. and we thank the lads for just incredible service to the football club. I'd like to just finish off by saying, finally, to the fans, this is your club. What you come tonight to honour all of these guys before you, the guys who go out there week in, week out, and give everything they possibly have for you. They are well worth supporting. But without your support, it doesn't really mean anything. Because whilst it's great to lift trophies, it's better when they hear it coming from you. Because that means so much to these guys when they lift trophies and say, the fans recognise what I've done for the football club. And that's why we do it every week. That's why we go to 3 nights training. That's why we will work harder. That's why they'll walk Stormont Hills and we'll run them into the ground to try and bring success that will put a smile on your face and make you proud to be the club that you are. Because inside all of us, and all the singing and the noise and all the songs that you make, the reason why we come here tonight is because inside us, we bleed red and black, because we know who we are. We're Crusaders. We're not Linfield. We're not Glentoran, because we don't want to be. We're red and black. The champions of North Belfast, stand on your feet and salute this team of players.